Dale and I heard about Dave Ramsey at least almost 20 years ago. Okay, as you can see, we are moving and I'm trying to keep our budget really tight. I'm trying to eat what we have, eat there so we don't have to worry about moving food, how we're gonna do that. And we eat carnivore, keto, and the kids are animal-based, mostly protein, protein first, whatever you wanna call it. And I started thinking about a couple of things I learned years ago. So almost 20 years ago, Dale and I, we were at church and they talked about this guy named Dave Ramsey, Financial Peace University. And we got gazelle intense and did that for a couple of years. And then we hit some goals and then we started having kids. No, we already had, Maisie was already born, but anyway, you get the point. We introduced my brother and sister-in-law to Dave Ramsey at Financial Peace University, gave them the CDs. I'm super excited to be able to take credit for that because my brother is so great with money. So I wanted, and he's my younger brother, my little brother. So I like being able to take the credit for that. So anyway, Dale and I were reintroduced to Dave Ramsey a couple weeks ago when we were traveling and we listened to a podcast and I thought, what have we been doing all these years? We kind of got away, time goes by, you get older, you have more money, you spend more money. And we have been spending money like crazy. So you make more money, you spend more money. We got bored and not bored, we got kind of, not reckless, just, we need to do better. So if you know me, if you've been around a while, I am an extreme person. So when I get my mindset on something, it's like a heat-seeking missile. And that's where we are today. So the carnivore diet, when I started the carnivore diet a couple of years ago, I did an extraordinary thing. I went from ordinary to extraordinary. I think we've all heard of, the dismal global health statistics, especially America. We live in America, so Americans are sick. And I put in basic principles and basic steps to transform my health. It's the best it's ever been. Lost a lot of weight. Dale's lost weight. My anxiety got better. My mental health improved. I lost 50 pounds. My autoimmune issues and chronic illness that I lived with for years and, getting older and middle age, those kinds of things, they have improved drastically. So now we are getting ready to move from Tennessee, the west side of Tennessee. So probably not where you're thinking. We're going to move back to Indiana and, parents are getting older. We have a grandbaby, our first grandbaby. She's a precious gift from heaven. And that's where we are now. So I want to tell you a couple of things I'm doing. The first thing I'm going to do is take stock, take inventory. What do we have? What can we eat? And so I'm going to show you that now. So hang on. So here we go. Okay. This is our refrigerator, in case you don't have eyes. We do have some seltzers and we've got plenty of bacon. And we've got plenty of cheese. I'll talk to you about the dairy later. Eggs. Where's our meat? Okay, we do have some sausage. We had meat, so we have burger patties, okay? Now, in the freezer, we have ground beef. We got this at Aldi, right? We did get that at Aldi. In fact, that's one of my tips. Go to Aldi and Walmart. Those are my favorite. Now, if I'm gonna splurge, I'm gonna go to Sprouts. But lately, because I'm being gazelle intense, I'm gonna try to stick to Aldi and Walmart. And we do not need any dairy. Okay, we've got enough cheese for about a year. So we have ground beef. We also do go to Sam's Club. I do think that's great. They have Scan and Go, which I love. And I get these burger patties from there. And there are 18 burger patties. They're 1/3 pound. And I think they're $28. That could be, you know, but about that. We have some other food that we can eat that's in the freezer from Sprouts from a couple weeks ago that the kids eat. So like French fries, it's just like 2 ingredients, and like fewer ingredients, chicken nuggets. And then we have this shrimp that we've had for a while. I have some salmon that we got from Sprouts, I don't know, a couple of months ago, but I'm not eating a lot of salmon, and Sophie was eating, my youngest daughter, she was eating it like crazy, like day after day after day. But then she probably got burnt out on it. That's just how she is though. And then she was eating eggs. So, you know, maybe we can shift that back in. But if not, I'm gonna give it to my neighbor because she loves salmon and I don't wanna have to move it. And I'm not throwing it away because it's expensive. I have these Egg Life wraps that you can get. You can get these Aldi, these Egg Life wraps at Aldi. They have a couple other kinds too. These are great. I got cheese. You can get all kinds of cheese. You can get I got ham, just lunch meat ham, and we got the LaCroix, the key lime. I love that flavor. I love the limoncello flavor. And then this is and that one is tangerine. You can get Rayo's spaghetti sauce at Aldi. It's much cheaper. Like I think the Egg Life wraps are like $2 cheaper per package. So we stocked up. We got 10 hamburger patties that we already ate them all. They were like 2-ounce patties. We got 10 of those for $10. You could get like, you know, you could get 3, you could spend $40 or $50 on, you know, just those pre-made patties. They're not frozen like the Sam's Club ones, but they're just fresh patties. They were 80-20 in their breakdown, I believe, and they were fantastic. So we got that. We got 4 pounds of ground beef. We got eggs. We got the lunch meat. We got the cheese. Here are the little patties. There are 3 left. I could eat those. We spent about $112, and that's gonna, you know, that's gonna get us for a week. If not a week, actually probably a little bit, technically probably like a week. We are going out of town, so we won't be home, but I'm gonna try to keep it really cheap by going to McDonald's or Wendy's and getting burger patties. Now, my kids don't love that, so we probably will spend some money on eating out, but I'm gonna try to keep it limited because we were just like burning money. It was crazy. I'm gonna see if we can just keep our budget for groceries pretty low. We probably will get some steaks in the next month. I believe we're gonna be moving in June, the beginning of June. So the reason I've kind of been having not an aversion, but about 6 weeks ago, I started having carnivore diet fatigue, and I started having reactions to foods that I was eating, and I was getting itchy and I was getting headaches. And so I was feeling really confined to my really strict carnivore diet. So I did a couple of things, and I just decided to go for it and start trying to reintroduce dairy, like you saw all the cheese. And it's been going really well. I've been doing really well. I hit I lost 35 pounds in the first 9 months of the carnivore diet, and that was in 2023. Since 2023, I've lost another 15 pounds. So I'm down a total of 50 pounds. So I'm in maintenance. You know, that means that I'm not focused on, you know, losing weight. I'm focused on keeping autoimmune issues and flares few and far between. Like with my eye, that's the one that, you know, I usually have trouble with the last 5-6 years. Keeping my hormones where they need to be because I'm almost 50 and it's perimenopause, it's, you know, perimenopause, old lady stuff, that kind of thing. I like to sleep. I like not having hot flashes, and I like having energy and not being really irritable. So my family likes that too. So I started reincorporating dairy and spices. That's the other thing. Spices. I can eat taco flavoring now. I can eat, you know, like seasoned meat more than just salt. I'm able to tolerate like prime protein with the chocolate. You know, it's been a while. And Coco Loco, which is a salty product, it's an electrolyte product. And I needed to be able to do that. That's just where I was. And so it's been going great. I'm not like a super planner. I am kind of like, okay, I know I like 6, 7, 8 things. Just get those and do a combination. I don't meal plan. I don't put a lot of ingredients together. I'll tell you who is a master at that, and that is my sister-in-law, Kim. And I want to leave you with this message that what you do matters. What you do as an example spreads out and ripples out. And I'm so proud, and I'm not crying. But my sister-in-law, Kim, who is a fantastic host, meal plans. She's done it for 20 years, as long as I've known her, which is over 20 years, but they have done that, and she plans that to this day. And so when we travel to Indiana, we stay with my brother and sister-in-law, and she still has, you know, like what can I have, and doing all that planning. And why was I telling you that? I don't know. I just wanted you to know that, you know, Kim's amazing. She has lost, let me get the statistics. She gave me her statistics, and I really want to brag on her. Okay, I got it. It's on my phone. Like, she makes things. She started doing sourdough in January, and I'm so excited to move back so that we can spend time together. We can cook together, which is kind of funny because I don't cook a lot, but so we can do like homesteading things. And I want to get some chickens, and she doesn't like chickens. They peck her eyes out, but she likes the eggs, and I'm going to share them with her. So Kim has lost 70 pounds, and this is since January of 2024. She was having so much pain at, I think she would have been 45 around January. Is that right? It doesn't matter. Mid-40s. She looks much younger. And she was having pain. My brother had been doing a carnivore diet for about 3 months, and she thought, you know what? Let's just give it a try. She's feeling pretty low and having a lot of pain. So she no longer has pain. She has amazing energy and focus, and that's amazing. And the nodules on her fingers are gone from no inflammation. And she's down a few sizes, and reports that she has never been this small. I'm not crying. I'm not gonna do it. You're not gonna see it. Not in this one. I'll get off camera and cry. So I'm gonna put a hilarious picture of the two of us this is from Thanksgiving, which we had a carnivore Thanksgiving. Fantastic. So I just wanna leave you this message. What you do and what your example is, okay, here it comes, okay, no, it really matters. And I hope that you find this video encouraging, and I want to see you again soon. I will be around. Watch this video. All right, thanks, bye.